So I want to create this kind of project. I have sidebar, right? This sidebar, and I have a top bar, and I have list of mails. If you want to create this project, generally when you're using HTML and CSS, for an entire page you will write code in HTML file only. Okay, but what you're doing now, we are going to split this into pieces. Sidebar is one component, this search bar is one component, this list one more component, one component, two component, 3 and 4, maybe n number of components. You will split this complete UI into n number of components. And if you're moving from one page to another page, please take a look here. Generally, if you develop a project using HTML and CSS, you are moving from one page to another page, what will happen? It will reload. If you're moving from one page to another page, it will reload generally. But using React.js, we are trying to develop single page application. So the first phase, what we are discussing, we are trying to understand about components, that's it. We are not doing more than that. How to create form, how to show the data in the form of list or table. We are discussing basic things first. Later, what we are going to do, we will set up this kind of navigation. You can move from one page to another page, one component. For example, if you click on inbox, I will show you inbox kind of things. If you click on this one, I will show this kind of things. So we'll move from one page to another page. Means one component to another component actually, not one page to another page. In customer point of view, they are moving from one page to another page. But in our point of view, we are moving from one component to another component. That's it. Okay. First, the basic level, we are trying to understand how to create components and how to create a form, how to show the data form in the form of table, in the form of list, in the form of divs, etc. We are in the basic level. So later, after understanding this, we'll go to navigation part and we'll move like this. We'll move one page to another page, this kind of things. And for example, you need a registration form. You need a form, right? Registration form. For example, this one, for example. You need a form. Okay, form handling definitely important. And just now this one, showing list of data. Okay, for this we will use map to show the data like this. Okay, so for example, if you want to handle this, you need form knowledge. If you want to show this knowledge, you need map knowledge. So we are going slowly actually, we are going step by step only. First create the project and create the components. Then we are handling the form. Then we are handling the list. Then we are handling the table and maybe divs. So when I am telling about the form, try to understand about the form. Don't worry about the real time. What is happening, what we will do next, don't worry. So try to understand at this moment, because if we discuss in this level, you can't understand, maybe bounce. So that's why what I'm trying to tell you, take a basic form like this and show the data like this, show in the form of list. So basic task we will perform. Later we will implement in the big level. Okay, so later you can develop application like this. You are able to, but you need APIs for this. You need how to create this kind of UI. There's a very big thing. Okay. So after creation of the component, we shown the data in the form of list, right? We shown the data in the form of list. But okay, see, you have array, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I want to print 1 to 5 in the console. How to print? So you have to use loop, like for loop, right? You can use for loop. Maybe you can use let or where I equaled 0. Index value starts from 0, right? 0. I less than or equaled array dot length minus 1 I plus plus, right? So what you're doing, you're just iterating it, and finally what you're trying to do, maybe you can write console.log array of I. Okay, so this is created in C language. The people given this syntax in C language, and they found some performance issues in this for loop, and then introduced some latest methods. Like, for example, we have array.map method, array.map, and in that array.map, you can take any variable name. Maybe you can take x comma y. Okay, so here x is the representative of elements. So instead of these numbers, I will take some strings. Better, you can easily understand. Maybe like this. Okay, so how many elements have? 3 elements, right? So now in the first iteration, x value is what? This a x value, element, not index value. Okay, and y is the index value, 0. X is the representative of element, y is the representative of index value. In the first iteration, how many times this function will execute? This will execute 3 times, because my array length is 3. So map method will execute this function 3 times because array length is 3. Okay, when it is executing first time, what is my x value? A. Okay, first iteration. In the second iteration, it is B. In the third iteration, C. And y is what? Index value of that element. So in the first iteration, it is 0. In the second iteration, it is 1. In the third iteration, it is 2. So you can take anything here. Maybe you can take element, you can take x, y, z, whatever. So this is the, here you can assign element, here you can assign index value. Okay, and here I am going to return, for example, x plus y, x plus 5. So it means you can take constant, some maybe result. What is this result now? What you are returning here in the each iteration. So that you are going to push into this array. This is a resultant array. You want to push that into this. Now my resultant array is in the first iteration, that is a 0, because you are concatenating it, right? And in the next iteration 1. In the next iteration it is 2. Okay, this is about map. So in map, what I am trying to do, I am trying to take element along with the index values, and you can perform any operation, you can return that value, that will push to the resultant array. Okay, any questions?
Will this not be A0, B, B1, C?
Oh, so I'm sorry, you're right, I written wrong. Yeah, that will be the answer, right? Okay, so this is, you are framing one more array exactly using map. Generally, this for loop, what it is doing, in each iteration, it will updating your global variable. If you are using I++, you are updating global variable. Instead of that, people depending upon the functions for the local variables, and we are decreasing the burden on the compiler. Okay, so this is a way map works. Okay, for example, you written this right? Yeah. For example, if you have a condition here, yeah, what will happen? Yeah, it will not printed, right? So it means you are not written anything. If you are not written anything, map will return undefined. Okay, if you are not written anything from the map, map will return undefined. That is the problem we are facing with the map. Not is a problem, that is a characteristic of map. So to overcome this problem, we'll use filter. Okay, filter will not return undefined. Filter will return what? It will return element. Okay, so if the condition is true, it will return element. If condition is false, it will not return anything. Okay, so instead of this map, I'm going to place what? Filter. So then what happen? It will not return anything. It will return only element. You can place anything, but it will return only element. Means what? You will get this AAA, this one, and it will not return undefined. You will get this output for the filter. So map can return anything, but filter will not return anything. It will return only element. If the condition is true, if you return, okay, this is very, very important, because while you are writing programming, it's very, very important. Okay, so now I'm coming to my React task. React task. Here, I'm using map. You can return anything. That is the first point. And now what is EL? Element. I can use X, I can use Y, I can use anything. So,
but we have not defined it in this particular case.
So what, sorry?
Have you defined elements in this particular case?
Which one?
We are using map, like in example. Omkar, Raju are.
Yeah, you know, data already I declared.
That
So in a component, just please understand. In a component, if you want to take the data, we use either state, either props. Still we are not entered into props side. We are in the state only. Using this use state. See, I imported this use state. Okay, without use state, you can't use state here. So I am using use state. I am just taking array of data. So now this Omkar Raju placed in this data variable. If you want to update this data, we are set up in some function. So this is the syntax of use state. So when you are declaring use state, you can declare a variable, you can declare a function. Using this function, you can update this variable. Even we'll discuss this one later. This user data. So data is what? Omkar and Raju. And you can use data.map, and you can take variables, and you can return li with the element. This is append to UL.
list.
Yeah. So generally, if you use filter, what will happen? It will not return li with element. Not like that. It will directly return only element. So the data will not come in the form of list like this. Yeah. Now I got data like this. For example, now we can see.
If li is not used, then if you use filter, then how will it come?
Yeah, I will show you. See, one thing I am going to show you now. What I am going to show you? So Omkar Raju, right? And I am going to add one more name. For example, Harish. Okay. If I save, Just see what will happen. That is added. So this is not possible directly by HTML and CSS. You need something script. So JavaScript can do that. On top of the JavaScript, people developed a library, predefined methods. So we are using that predefined methods. You understand? Yeah, so that's the point. So if you're using it, if you're creating the project, if you're creating the components, if you're using it, then you can easily understand what is happening. Yeah, please. Yeah, any question? So I'm going to use filter now. Yeah. You got the data, but it's not in the form of list because filter will not return anything. Filter will return only element. Map can return anything. Map can return li or anything. Okay. Okay, so now I want to take the data of text box. I want to take the text box data into a variable first, and later I will add that into list. So my next step is what? Step 3. Step 3. What I'm going to do, I want to assign text box data to a variable. Okay, so you have text box, you are entering data in the text box. I will assign that data to the variable. So try to take one more variable like this. What is my variable name? For example, try to take variable name as name. And what is, I'm going to give data name. And it is a empty string. Okay, I have taken a name variable. And text box data, I'm going to assign this. Okay. Yeah. So I just want to take text box data into this name variable. So come down, interpolation, what you are going to show? Name. Okay. So when you are entering the data, I will show here first. So because I need to understand whether my data is updating or not, I need to understand. For that I just mentioned here. And which event I have to use? On change. And you can write constant collect input okay, and try to place collect input here. So what you're doing here, when you are entering the data here, you're calling this function. For every keystroke, you're calling this function. Okay? And what I need now, this text box data, what the data you are entering in this text box, I have to assign that data to this name variable. Okay? Text box data I want to assign to this name variable. Okay, how to assign this data to a variable? See, you know that using set name I will update this name, but I want this text box data first. I want this text box data. See, I need to control, or I need to take the control of that input element. For that, you have to expect something here. Whatever the variable name you can expect, but for the standards I'm giving E. Okay, E stands for here. What is the purpose of this variable? That is called synthetic base event. I'm going to console it. Just focus. Console.log E. Just try to understand. This is your input element, and you are entering data into this. On each keystroke, I am going to call this function, and in the every iteration, I am taking the control of this input element. This is called synthetic base event. I will show you that. See, in the console, see, try to enter some character. See what it's showing me? Synthetic base event it's showing me. When I printed E, okay, expand this, it contains so many things. There is a target and there is input. Mouse over on this input. If you mouse over on this, what is happening? Input is selecting. So, you know that synthetic base event, in that there is a target that is capturing your input element. Okay. So, if you want to get the data from input element, which attribute you have to use? Input element, data. No, of course, in not about this React side. Generally, when you are using HTML, yeah, document.getElement by ID dot. If it is right, if it is paragraph element, open and close, you can use inner HTML. If it is input element, what you will use? Dot. If it is open tag and close tag, inner HTML and inner text. If it is input element, you have a attribute. What is that? Value. Value. Okay. Dot value. So if it is open tag and close tag, you will get the data using inner HTML and inner text. If it is input element, we already performed form validation, right? If you use text box, we use value. Same way, here E dot E is the synthetic base event and target and dot value. Now you will get the data which comes from the input element. Now see, you are getting data, right? It's consoling. So now your data, the text box data is coming into your control. Assign that to name variable. How to update the name? Using set name, right? Yeah. For this set name, try to pass this e.target.value. Okay. So now see what has happened. Clear? So very simple, already discussed with you. The first step is create the UI. My second step is what? Take array, show the data in the form of list. My third step is what? Text box data assigned to a variable. Okay, so we perform that. Now the last step, what is that? Add this variable at the end of this array. Okay, so you need to do that. For that, very simple, very simple. Already name having the logic, add this at the end of this array. Okay. Yeah. So next, we need to talk about one more topic, name called spread operator. Spread operator. Anyone knows about spread operator? No? Okay. These three dots. What is the use of spread operator? Okay, no problem. I will tell you. First you need to understand something. I am showing something. 1 b equal to a and b equal to 2. Can you tell me the values? 1, 2. Good. 1, 2. And now I am trying to take array 1. Yeah. Can you tell me the output? Right? So this is the array 1, this is array 2. So that's why I asked you the question. Because I just, why I asked you this question, I know you know this answer. I know you know this answer, but you don't know this. Okay, that's why I frame both in the same screen. Because there is a concept name called shallow copy. Shallow copy. That is available in all the technologies. If you go to Java, if you go to Python, if you go to JavaScript, in every technology we have a concept name called shallow copy and deep copy. Okay, if you give this answer, if you can give this answer, if it is deep copy, it is shallow copy. Shallow copy means, you know C language, right? In C we have pointers.
Yes.
Pointer means what?
Using the value of particular variable.
Yeah, you know, it means instead of storing the value, you are storing the address of a variable. So it means if you update variable 1, if you update variable 2, if you're updating the main address of that. Okay. Same way, if you update array 1 or if you update array 2, both will update in this concept. So if I'm updated array 2, right? So I'm adding 3 to array 2 actually, but it will update array 1 also. So that's, you will get same output here. Array 1 also 1, 2, 3. Array 2 also 1, 2, 3. Because of shallow copy. Because here you are not assigning the value, you are assigning the address of array 1. Okay, here what you are doing, you are just assigning your value. So you are storing 1 into B directly. You are assigning 1 to B. So if you are updated B, that will not disturb A. But here you are assigning address of array 1. If you update array 2 or if you update array 1, you are updating, both will update.
One is shallow copy and the other one was
Deep copy. You know, you can search in the Google array shallow copy and deep copy, this one. Please note down this one. This is available in so many technologies, not only in JavaScript. If it is shallow copy, shallow clone, maybe that is object, maybe that is array. Original and clone both are sharing same object. When it is deep copy, references is different. That reference is different, this reference is different. Yeah, please note on this.
In shadow copy, both the original source as well as the cloned one,
Both are same.
Whereas in deep clone, if we make any change in the original, then original will be varied.
If
Clone has been varied, then only clone will be
clone,
varied.
yes.
So there is no interrelation between
Yes.
like the variable A, B,
Ah.
we have shown.
Yeah, same like AB.
First example is shallow clone and
No. So you know the variables generally this one independent variables A and B independent.
you're assigning the value of the variable.
So if you update A, if you update B, it will not impact on another one. But here both are same now. Array1 and array2 both are same now. If you update array1, array2 will update. If you update array2, array1 also update. So if you see here, shallow copy, both sharing same reference. If you update clone 1, original will update. If you update original 1, clone 1 will also update. But in the deep, both are different, no? Yeah. Okay. So now I am going to show that example. See, both are updated in this example. So instead of that, when you are copying directly, I am not going to directly assign like this. I am going to use array symbol. Along with that, I am trying to place the 3 dots. Spread operator means what? I am going to spread elements of this into this. Okay, so now see what happens. So this is called deep copy, and the last one is shallow copy. Any questions? Understand this? Both are two different arrays, right?
I am not using spread operator
Then it becomes shallow copy.
then both will show the same result, right?
Right.
Okay. Yes, correct.
Soft